Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your educator. I warmly welcome you all on our YouTube platform where we in today's video are going to discuss another theory that we have that is known by the name archetypal criticism and the major theorists that we have. So it's a very short theory, literary theory in the field of English literature majorly, where if we generally try to understand the word archetype itself, it means that it is some sort of a particular example of a person, place or thing. So when we read pieces of literature, we most of the times come across some characters which are somewhere or the other, even if they belong to different novels, different sorts of drama, poetry, so on and so forth, they have certain traits which are similar to one another, right? This criticism, one more thing that is to be noted down here, is also known by the name myth criticism, because it tries to talk about different cultural myths as well. So कोई भी चीज जिसमें archetypes होते हैं, anything which is related to myth and all, that is known by the name myth criticism or archetypal criticism. Now when we move ahead with the field of literature, as I told you, we come across certain character types that are somewhere or the other similar to one another. So when we move ahead with that, we try to apply some sort of archetypal literary theory. We understand that what hidden meaning does it hold, right? So let's just first of all try to understand the meaning of archetype and so on and so forth. It is something which explores the recurring symbols, themes and character types in literature. So if I try to say that there is a red rose, you will always, most of the times, you would try to consider it the symbol of love, right? And if I try to talk about white rose is considered the symbol of peace, friendship, or yellow is considered the one for friendship and all, right? So here what you are understanding is that through the recurring symbols that we see in any sort of drama, any sort of literary work, novel, etc., we come across these symbols in our day-to-day lives when we are reading books. So how to uncover or unlayer the meanings hidden beneath them is what we do through the archetypal criticism. So ये चीजें recur करती हैं in pieces of literature. The purpose is to uncover the universal meanings and connections shared across cultures and time. So there might be certain cultures which would have lived, now would have been extinct, right? उन culture से लेके आज के culture तक, how, if there are any changes in the symbols, or if the plight of humankind is shown universally in the works of that times and in the works of these times as well, that is what we try to uncover, right? So key concepts of archetypal criticism is that universal symbols and themes which are found in literature is what we try to explore. And we also try to look forward with very, very important concept which is given by Carl Gustav Jung. He gives us the term that is by the name collective unconscious. Now one thing here again to note down is that Carl Jung was one such person who was, Carl Jung was inspired by Sigmund Freud. And it is Freud only who has given us the ideas of subconscious, unconscious and the conscious mind, right? The way he tries to explore the different layers of a human mind and brain is what, later on Jung takes in uncovering the meanings which are hidden beneath different cultures. And this term he gives by the name collective unconscious. कि अलग-अलग cultures में we somewhere or the other share some sort of human experiences which are universal for each and every one of us. Now if you know that there might be certain symbols, there might be certain things कि India में most of the times we have seen that we consider a black cat crossing a road in front of us a bad omen. But in some areas it might be considered good. Same is the case with shaking hands when meeting someone. In most of the countries, it is considered to be a sign of, greeting somebody. But in some countries, it is considered to be a, symbol of disrespect. So what are the shared human experiences and how they come across universally in different cultures is what Jung tries to give us with the term or concept collective unconscious, right? Now, let's just move ahead and try to understand through certain examples, the different archetypes that we usually come across in the field of literature. The very first one is the hero archetype. The hero archetype represents the protagonist on a quest who's facing challenges and transforming. Somewhere or the other, we see the transformation. The transformation can happen in any format, right? कि आप लोग you are coming of age novel पढ़ी होगी अगर आप लोग नहीं, you guys would be understanding the same thing, right? जिसको Bildungsroman कहते हैं. Then we have Conspiraroma, that is related to the development of an artist, right? So how a protagonist of a particular story has overcome the challenges in his life and has slowly transformed into what he is now is what is shown through the hero archetype, right? Harry Potter's journey in J.K. Rowling's series, that how his character has slowly transformed through the entire series, right? That is what we see. And Frodo Baggins in J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. So, to understand these particular examples, I have taken, most of the times I have taken Harry Potter, because it's one sort of series, movies as well, and book series as well, which some of you would have read, watched and something like that, right? So consider that particular example majorly here, where we see the protagonist going through things in his or her life and facing challenging and transforming into a good person, right? Good person or a little transformation which is for the benefit or the good of that particular person. Then we have the second one, that is by the name the mentor archetype. Now with the mentor archetype, what we see is, who is a mentor? A mentor is a person who guides us. Same is the case with this archetype, where any figure in literature we see somebody guiding, right? So guides, the person who guides and aids the hero on their journey. Like we see Dumbledore guiding Harry Potter in the Harry Potter series, the way he tries to bring Harry to the right path ahead in his entire journey is what we try to see through the mentor archetype, right? Atticus Finch in the very popular work To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, we see that how he tries to be a mentor to his children, Scout and Jem, और उनको सही चीजें पे सही राह पे चलने के लिए he tries to be present for them, to guide them thoroughly, teaching them about justice and morality, right? So there might be any archetype, any book could also be considered an archetype. The mentor archetype in Indian literature, if I try to give you, could be Lord Krishna, right? So if we consider Bhagavad Gita, because it is also a piece of literature, there we see Lord Krishna being the mentor of Arjun, right? Through the entire series of Bhagavad Gita, through the entire chapters of Bhagavad Gita, we come to understand that how Krishna is the guiding force who is telling Arjun what to do and what not to do. That is a mentor who is guiding the hero to go away and move ahead with the field of life. Same is the case अगर हम hero archetype की भी Arjun के through बात करते हैं, that how Arjun is facing challenges, how उनकी wife पांडवों की जो है उनको बड़ी सभा में, we see the चीर हरण of Draupadi being done, right? And how he is also facing certain challenges, and later comes out after some point of transformation, he kills the Kauravas and he becomes the person who is victorious, right? Gaining the just rule there, right? Then we have the shadow archetype. I will keep on giving you the example of Mahabharata only here now, along with the other examples that are here. So shadow archetype, shadow क्या होती है? परछाई. So here, परछाई here is trying to signify some sort of hidden or darker side of the human mind or human nature. So it is mostly negative, which is going to tell us, and even if you guys would have read Paradise Lost by John Milton, there you will see Satan who is trying to seduce or tempt Eve into eating the forbidden fruit of from the tree of knowledge, So here he is the shadow. Here जब हम लोग टॉम एंड जेरी भी बचपन में देखते थे, we used to see those two devil and angel here. कि टॉम सोचता था मैं अच्छी चीज करूं या बुरी चीज करूं. So those angels and devils are the parts of the human psyche, the parts of the human nature as well, right? So we see that Voldemort can also be seen as a shadow in Harry Potter. Iago, who is in the play Othello by Shakespeare, he embodies a shadow archetype. Why and how? That he tries to manipulate others and cause destruction out of jealousy because he's jealous. Here again, I would try to give you example of if हम लोग शकुनी मामा की बात करते हैं, तो शकुनी कैन बी कंसिडर्ड, शकुनी इन भगवत गीता बोल रही हूँ, महाभारत कैन बी कंसिडर्ड एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ द डार्कर साइड ऑफ द ह्यूमन साइकी, राइट? सो दैट इज वन सच थिंग हियर. Then we have the fourth number, the mother archetype. And the mother archetype need not be female only. It can be a man, right? It can be any person who is having that nurturing quality inside, right? So symbolizes nurturing, protection and fertility. What are the examples here? Molly Weasley in Harry Potter. The way she tries to nurture Harry is something which is of very much significance, and somewhere or the other it tries to make you feel emotional as well. Then we have Demeter. He is in Greek mythology the goddess of agriculture. So it is related to fertility, nurturing and the protective aspects of motherhood, right? That is what is there. Then we see number 5, the trickster archetype. It represents chaos, disruption, often challenging norms. So it will be trying to bring another side. एक तो हमारा हम peaceful nature चाहते हैं, peaceful environment चाहते हैं. The trickster archetype would bring chaos, anarchy in the entire society altogether, right? So examples here is again a god from the Greek mythology, Hermes, who is the messenger god, classic trickster figure, known for his cunning, playful nature. So this is an already established norm that how a man should behave. So you go beyond that and you try to be your own weird self, is what is the trickster stereotype, archetype all about. So Puck in Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night Dream, if you read the summary, and these works that I'm bringing here are also important from net perspectives, summary ke part se. Okay? Then we have, this one was number 5, number 6 we have the journey archetype, where narratives are centered around a quest or journey. You want to find an answer to anything and everything, right? So the Odyssey by Homer, Odyssey itself is about a tour, right? Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. They are the, somewhere or the other trying to tell us that what we are trying to find. और जर्नी आर्केटाइप में हम यूटोपिया भी कंसिडर कर सकते हैं थॉमस मोर का, बिकॉज देयर वी आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड व्हाट, वी आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड एन आइडियल सोसाइटी, एन आइडियल स्टेट which exists nowhere, right? Which exists nowhere. So any sort of journey that is through any means for a quest, for an answer, right? Then we have the quest archetype, a search for a valuable goal or objective. Anything here as well where you know that कुछ भी valuable goal या objective आपके mind में हो. जैसे अगर हम फिर से महाभारत में आते हैं, we see Lord Krishna telling Arjun the way to the ultimate truth, that of course they are supposed to be virtuous. उनको जो भी चीजें हैं उसमें दृढ़ बन के रहना पड़ेगा. He should be determined enough to fight against, even if they are his cousins, because eventually they are somewhere or the other going to establish some sort of moral grounds here through the final quest that they are going to have. The search for Horcruxes in Harry Potter and the quest to destroy the one ring that is present in the Lord of the Rings, right? So these are कुछ भी ढूंढना, search for anything, anyone, any question ka answer is what is the quest archetype. You are trying to find an answer to anything. Now, why Archetypal criticism is important because it has universal themes, and universal themes ke through we can know that how universally, even if people are belonging to different cultures, their thinking patterns, the collective unconscious works the same way, right? Literature reflects shared human experiences, which, as I told you, Young has referred to as the collective unconscious. कि सब लोग कलेक्टिवली वैसा ही माइंड रखते हैं. कलेक्टिवली मतलब हियर वी हैव द यूनिवर्सैलिटी, right, and unconscious, that we unconsciously are thinking about certain things in our minds that are shared by every human being most of the times, right? And cross-cultural understanding to see how they transcend the cultural boundaries beyond time, beyond cultures as well. Because as I told you, handshake का भी अगर मैंने आपको example दिया है, हमने और भी archetypes देखे. So as I gave you the example of the mentor archetype in the field of English literature, and then I brought it back again to Bhagavad Gita, the role of Lord Krishna and Arjun, that how Lord Krishna was a mentor. So how the cultures are entirely different. One way I'm trying to talk about the English culture, the other way I'm trying to talk about the Indian context, Indian culture, and a time being very ancient. So how they are both coming together, cross-cultural understanding के लिए भी important होते हैं, right? So these are the major theorists. Carl Jung, Northrop Frye, he is a Canadian critic, right? J.G. Fraser and Maud Botkin, right? So how are you supposed to proceed with them from now on? In this video is that I'm going to give you the names of the books of these particular writers in the chronological way. So please make sure that you are pausing the video right away when the books come. Sabhi writers ke, sabhi theorists ki books ko chronology mein I have already arranged for you all. So these are the names, and please try that you are writing down the English names mostly. ठीक है? ये तो time लग जाएगा आपको लिखने में. English names लिखो, right? यहाँ पे भी the secret of the golden flower, modern man in search of a soul. This is a PYQ, psychology and religion. You can pause here and note it down. Do not take a screenshot because I know later on you guys will forget it to note down. But from these videos, you are getting extra help in the gathering of resources, right? So make the most of it. Now I'll move to another page. You can pause the video here again as well. Psychology and Alchemy, Aeon, with the subtitle Researches into the Phenomenology of the Self, Symbols of Transformation, revised version of the Psychology of the Unconscious, and Memories, Dreams, Reflections, which is semi-autobiographical reading, partly written by Jung, partly recorded by his secretary. So these are certain facts that you need to make sure that you are noting them down. क्योंकि ऐसे ही क्वेश्चंस पूछ लेते हैं माइनर चीजों में से भी वो लोग, राइट? So pause it again, note it down again, and I move forward with the works of Northrop Frye. Anatomy of Criticism, further divided into 4 parts that you are supposed to tell me in the comment section, right? And I am also going to discuss in another video, but just telling you way ahead of its time that of course you need to know about the 4 different subtypes of subparts of anatomy of criticism. Right? And then we have J.G. Fraser. Iska subtitle bhi they have asked in the examination. So please try and make sure that you are noting down them as well. And moving forward, we have Maud Botkin, who is the last of these particular people. Her work, Archetypal Patterns in Poetry, is very, very important and famous. The Quest for Salvation in an Ancient and a Modern Play, Studies of Type Images in Poetry, Religion and Philosophy. Right? So you can pause it down again and note them down for your further reference when it concerns archetypal criticism. With this, we are done with archetypal criticism. I'll see you guys in another video. If you have any doubts, you can drop it down in the comment section below. Also, wanted to make an announcement that on our channel, we have videos in English and Hindi both. So you can refer to the playlists, right? Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye-bye.